Here are 7 behaviors of an INFJ man. Number 1. He prefers deep conversations over small talk. While most people are waiting for their turn to talk, he's tuned in like a musician, listening for the quiet notes others miss. When you speak, you'll notice his eyes soften. He doesn't interrupt. He doesn't rush. He lets you unfold at your own pace. Like a story he's genuinely interested in reading. And it's not just the words. He listens to tone, pauses, what you're not saying. He catches the shift in your voice when you say, "I'm fine," but mean anything but. He remembers the small things you mentioned weeks ago, your favorite tea, the name of your childhood pet, the book you said changed your life, because they matter to you. And that means they matter to him. His listening feels like safety. Like you're not just being heard, you're being held in someone's quiet attention. And later, when you've long forgotten what you said, he'll repeat it back to you, not to impress, but to remind you, "I was really there. I saw you. I still do." This kind of listening, it's rare, it's healing, and it's why one conversation with him can feel more meaningful than years of surface-level chatter with anyone else. Number 2, he's gentle, but has a quiet strength. There's something calm about an INFJ man, a softness in his presence, like a breeze instead of a storm. He speaks with thought, not volume. He doesn't dominate rooms, he anchors them. But make no mistake, beneath that gentle demeanor is steel. He has lines you won't see until they're crossed. He may not raise his voice, but he'll raise a mirror to the truth. And when he does, it's sharp, steady, and impossible to ignore. His strength isn't about control or confrontation, it's about conviction. Once he believes in something or someone, he holds that belief with unwavering loyalty. He doesn't flex his power, he doesn't need to. He knows who he is, and that quiet confidence is more intimidating than any show of bravado. You might underestimate him at first, many do, but over time you'll realize, this is a man who won't be shaken even when the world is. He's gentle in voice but strong in values, and when it comes down to it, he'll stand alone if that's what integrity requires. Because his strength isn't loud, it's rooted. Number 3, he disappears to recharge. One day he's texting back thoughtfully, asking how your soul feels, laughing at your weird jokes. And then suddenly, nothing. A pause, a retreat. Silence where connection used to be. But don't panic, he didn't ghost you, he didn't lose interest. He just slipped into his inner world, a place so rich and layered even he gets lost in it sometimes. INFJ men don't vanish to punish, they vanish to breathe. The outside world with all its noise, chaos, and emotional static wears on them like sandpaper on skin. They take in everything, people's energy, expectations, unspoken needs, and at some point it overloads their internal circuitry. So they withdraw, quietly, not to escape people, but to return to themselves. You might not hear from him for hours, a day, maybe more. But during that time, he's not ignoring you, he's filtering, processing, recharging. He's in solitude not because he doesn't love you, but because he wants to show up fully when he returns. When he comes back, he's cleaner, softer, more himself again. Loving an INFJ man means understanding this sacred rhythm. Connection, retreat, return. It's not distance, it's depth maintenance. Number 4, he watches before he speaks. Walk into a room with an INFJ man and he won't be the one talking the most. He won't interrupt, compete, or jump in to fill the silence. No, he'll be watching. Not in a cold, calculating way, but in that quiet, soul-scanning way INFJs do. His eyes move carefully, observing energy shifts, facial expressions, the tension behind someone's laugh. While others chase attention, he's gathering information. Emotional weather patterns, unspoken stories. You'll wonder if he's shy, or maybe he's just detached. But what he's actually doing is listening without words. He's letting people reveal themselves before he offers anything in return. And then when he finally does speak, it lands. His words feel heavier, wiser, like he spent extra time crafting them in his mind. And he has. INFJ men don't speak to fill the air, they speak when something needs to be said. Whether it's a quiet truth, a well-placed joke, or a deep question that makes you pause mid-sentence. That's his style. Still waters, deep thoughts. You might not notice him at first, but later you'll remember exactly what he said, because it wasn't random, it was real. Number 5, he cares more than he lets on. On the surface, he's composed, calm, maybe even a little distant. He's the type to ask how you're doing, but brush off the same question in return with a soft, "I'm okay." But here's what most people miss. He feels deeply, maybe too deeply. The INFJ man carries emotions like a hidden river, powerful, vast, but quiet beneath the surface. He doesn't always show it because he's afraid of overwhelming others or being misunderstood. So he tucks his care into subtleties, the way he checks in on you without making a show of it, the way he notices when something's off and gently creates space for you to open up, the way he remembers not just your birthday but that offhand thing you said months ago about your childhood fears. He doesn't just empathize, he internalizes. If someone he loves is hurting, he carries it with him, not out of obligation, but instinct. Love for him is not a word, it's a responsibility, and it's heavy. But he rarely says all of this out loud, because to him, caring isn't something you say, it's something you live. So, if he seems distant, look closer. The truth is, he's already loving you in ways you haven't noticed yet. Number 6, he's a private romantic. You won't catch an INFJ man making grand public gestures or posting poetic captions under your photos. He's not going to serenade you on TikTok or plan a flash mob. That's not his style. His romance is quieter, slower, sacred. He'll learn how you take your coffee and bring it just the way you like it without needing to ask. He'll make playlists that trace your moods. He'll write things he'll never send. And late at night, when you're half asleep, he'll whisper something so genuine, so piercingly kind, that it replays in your head for days. He's not flashy with his feelings, but behind closed doors, he's disarmingly tender. He'll study the way you speak, the phrases you use when you're excited or anxious. He'll notice the way your eyes shift when you're overwhelmed. And he'll adjust his energy without you having to explain a thing. He doesn't want the world to know he loves you. He wants you to feel it in ways words can't reach. Because for the INFJ man, real romance isn't about performance. It's about presence, deep, intuitive, and quietly all in. Number 7, he consents when something's wrong, even if you smile. You could have the perfect smile, the polite tone, the "I'm totally fine" routine down to a science. But the INFJ man, he sees through it like a pane of glass. He doesn't need drama, he doesn't need a meltdown. All he needs is a slight pause in your sentence, a flicker in your eyes, a little too much enthusiasm when you say, "No, really, I'm good." That's enough. His intuition picks it up instantly, not as suspicion, but as concern. He won't push, he won't accuse, he'll just quietly shift. Maybe he texts to check in late at night, not with "what's wrong," but with "thinking about you, here if you need." Maybe he lingers a little longer in a hug. Maybe he sits with you in silence, the kind that feels more comforting than any words. You might even feel a little exposed, like, how did he know? But the truth is, INFJs don't try to read people. They just do, especially the ones they care about. He doesn't need your breakdown to show up. He shows up before you realize you need someone. And when you do open up, he listens like your pain is sacred. Like you are too. These videos will be really helpful for you.